Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Maggie from Hand to Mind, and this is our 5th grade Teach at Home math video series. Today we're working on week 10, day 5, and we are going to talk all about sorting polygons. So this week we've talked a lot about different shapes, including a lot about polygons. And today we're going to look at what they have in common and what they don't have in common with each other. So we're going to be sorting polygons, maybe using some Venn diagrams to help us out. So I hope you're ready and excited to get started. Let's go.
Hey everyone, and welcome to today's lesson, Sorting Polygons. Our first problem says, Eric wants to compare and contrast the shapes in his box of pattern blocks. Can you help him? So in order to help Eric sort by comparing and contrasting his polygons, we are going to go to the Braining Camp app. So if you can, please join me there. Or maybe you might have our pattern blocks at home that you can use to sort as well. So we are going to sort our pattern blocks, compare and contrasting them. In order to do that, we are going to create Venn diagrams. So Venn diagrams are two interlocking circles that help us with comparing and contrasting. So, looking at our shapes along the left-hand side in the pattern blocks that we want to compare and contrast, we are going to label our two circles. Our first one is going to be that opposite sides are equal. So I'm just going to label opposite sides equal. And then our right circle is going to be that all angles are equal. And I'm going to abbreviate angles and equal. So, looking at our yellow hexagon has opposite sides that are equal to each other. Opposite sides are, in fact, equal to each other. We see that this is a regular polygon, so we know that all angles are going to be equal to each other. So because it fits both categories, we're going to put it in the middle, showing that it's both opposite sides are equal and all angles are equal. Next, we have the red trapezoid. Now, the red trapezoid is a little tricky because we know our opposite sides are not all equal to each other. We can see that the top is much shorter than the bottom, and we know that all angles are not equal. So because it doesn't fit either characteristic, we're going to leave it out of our Venn diagram. Next, we have our blue rhombus. With our blue rhombus, we know the characteristics of a rhombus mean that opposite sides are equal to each other, but not that all angles are equal. Next, our green triangle has, in this case, all sides are equal and all angles are equal. So because it fits both of these, it's going to end up in the middle, showing that both opposite sides are equal and all angles are equal. Next, we have our orange square. Our orange square, again, has opposite sides that are equal to each other and all angles are equal. So again, that is going to end up in the center. Finally, we have our beige rhombus, which again is going to show that opposite sides are equal to each other, but not all angles. So here's one way that Eric can compare and contrast the shapes in his pattern blocks. We can see the ones that only fit under opposite sides that are equal to each other, only, and all angles are equal. But we more specifically can see the ones that both categories, opposite sides are equal, all angles are equal. These are the three shapes in the pattern blocks that fit both of those requirements. So just to review, we've seen this throughout this week, but our quadrilaterals. So make sure that you know the difference between our different quadrilaterals and the characteristics of each type of quadrilateral. So our next problem says to sort the following shapes into our Venn diagram. So here we have two categories, quadrilaterals and has at least one right angle. So looking at our polygons that were given at the top, the first one here we know that this is a right triangle. We know a triangle is not a quadrilateral, but we can see that it does in fact have at least one right angle. So I'm going to sketch a picture of our right triangle only under this category of at least one right angle. Our second shape here we can see is a quadrilateral, but does not have any right angle markings. So because of that, I am going to sketch this quadrilateral underneath only the quadrilaterals. Our next shape here is a pentagon. So notice there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, and we see that it has 2 right angles. So because it is not a quadrilateral, but it does have at least one right angle, I am going to put it underneath the right angle circle. And again, I'm just doing a quick sketch. Okay, finally, we have our trapezoid. So it is a quadrilateral, it has 4 sides, so it does meet that requirement, and it has one right angle. So because it meets both quadrilateral and has at least one right angle, it is going to go in the center. Again, when it goes in the center, that means it meets both categories. It is a quadrilateral and it has at least one right angle. Our next one says to sort the following shapes in the Venn diagram. So we can see that our first category is regular polygons. Our second are parallelograms. So remember, when we're talking regular polygons, regular means that all sides and all angles are equal. So keep that in mind. So looking at our first one here, shape number 1, would you say this is a regular polygon, a parallelogram, or both? Good. This is just a parallelogram. So again, I'm going to sketch it in my parallelogram circle. What about shape number 2? This is a triangle, meaning it is just a regular polygon. It is not a parallelogram because parallelograms are quadrilaterals. What about shape number 3? Do you think it's a regular polygon, parallelogram, or both? Good. This one is a regular polygon. We can see that this is a hexagon, and our hexagon, we know when it's labeled just as this one is going to be a regular polygon. How about shape number 4? Is it a regular polygon, parallelogram, or both? If you are saying rectangle, you would be correct because, again, regular polygons have to have all equal sides. And we know that this appears to be a rectangle, which would indicate that all sides are not equal. What about shape number 5? Shape number 5 is a square. A square is a regular polygon and it is a parallelogram. So a square would be considered both, so we're going to put it in the middle. And what about quadrilateral number 6? So we can see that all sides are equal, all angles are equal, so it looks like it's just a square that was rotated a little bit. So again, that's going to end up in the middle. So sorting our shapes into the Venn diagram should look something like this. So notice that the square in the hexagon are the only regular polygons. The 2 squares are both regular polygons and parallelograms. And then our parallelogram and our rectangle are the only 2 that are just parallelograms. So again, we can use Venn diagrams to compare and contrast shapes. Thank you so much for joining me today. For more resources, please check out our website at hand2mind@home.